I became aware of arcade games, I would say, in the late 80s. There was a mini cab office around the corner from me that had 3 or 4 arcade machines in there. This is probably about 88, I suppose, or 87. And I used to take my sort of 10p pocket money, my pocket money in 10p's, maybe a couple of quid, and I'd go and throw it all in pole position or Tron or whatever they had in there. What we've always found here is the sort of 90s machines seem to be the most popular because they've got that mix of playability and like intuitiveness. You don't need to really be an expert to play most of these games, you know, whereas the classic games of the late 70s, early 80s, the difficulty curve could be absolutely brutal.
Would you say there's like a certain charm of like, you know, the 90s games?
For sure. I mean, you know, Point Blank, Time Crisis, I'd say they've always been 2 of the most popular games since we opened, and have that, they're just about nostalgic enough where you look at the graphics and think, oh, that's kind of cute, but still, you know, immense fun to play. And Turtles is more like very early 90s. It's not the best game, but people love it because it's just an iconic IP. Whereas your Street Fighters, I guess, still anyone can play it, but it takes a long time to master. Whereas some of the older games, you put in your coin and just go, I don't know what's going on.
Do you think people still enjoy arcade gaming like they did back in the, you know, golden ages of like the 80s perhaps?
It's a little bit different nowadays. I mean, modern arcade games, they're just a different experience, aren't they? They're generally massive machines that, you know, you'll either be strapped in for a driving game or it'll be something that you can't get at home. Because let's be honest, for the last 20 years, home consoles have been able to match what you play in the arcade. So,
would you think video arcade games or arcade bars bring a certain cultural value to London as a city?
In terms of arcade bars themselves or arcade places to play arcades, I think it probably is quite a niche thing. So it's not the first thing you're going to think of when you think of London. Culturally, when most people think of arcades, they probably think of going to the seaside and the amusement. I think that there is a real value to being able to access these machines just as a record of the past, you know. It's like they're fun things to see and play, and if you didn't have access to them at all, it would just be a bit sad really that you couldn't access those. So I think bars like ours and places that do have the machines are providing something that's almost like a museum quality that is really useful to the new generations. I think we do get quite a lot of dads coming in with their kids, and sometimes the kids are just obsessed with these machines. You know, it's like obviously not all kids, but it still has a real interest and value to people to see how games have developed without having to go to, say, a specific exhibition. Because, like, you know, you can come here any Saturday afternoon, play a few games, have a drink. It's a bit more informal, you know.